Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Boring Enterprise Nerdletter Talk. Today we have very exciting episode. It's the usual suspects, myself, Elena Perfilieva, and my co-host Paul Moderman and co-writer of the Nerdletter. And we do have very exciting guest with us today. Björn Schulz is joining us from over in Germany. Say hi, Björn.
Hi to all together.
Awesome. All right. So what we do in this Nerdletter talks, Paul and I share the subjects for our stories that we're gonna write about in the upcoming issue of our Boring Enterprise Nerdletter. So we have usually at least three subjects each. Sometimes there is bonus subjects, sometimes there isn't. But let's just dig in, and if that's okay
I'm
with you,
in.
Paul, I'm just gonna go ahead and start with mine. So I have super interesting subjects today. So the first one, obviously, rather big event these days. It's I think getting bigger every year, which is really good thing. It's a DevToberfest. So this event started as some kind of a appetizer for the TechEd, but I think it grown so much that I would dare to say that this year is probably gonna surpass TechEd in popularity. So the kind of the curve of popularity goes like this
Yeah,
almost like TechEd is
I
kind of
feel like it is.
tech
Yeah.
is kind of down, but DevTober is just I think through the roof. So it is still event in progress. But if we look at the calendar, so this is 2 weeks in September. These sessions have already been completed. You can see different tracks by the subject, and there is a tons of content for all the SAP professionals, analytics, development, AI, integration. You name it. Everything is here. So I did watch some of them, and I will just highlight the sessions that I have watched already. But there might be another story maybe after this event with some more stuff. So this is subject that that just keeps on giving, thankfully. And just one particular session that I want to highlight from this event, I thought it was really rather unexpectedly, but also just beautifully done. This is data modeling with ABAP Core Data Services. Again, judging by the title, you would not expect to be anything exciting. It's like, more CDS view stuff, like,
Hmm.
but I absolutely just love the style, how these two people, Matthias and Katerina, have done it. Let me see if I can just play it a little bit. So I just want to show you. So the way they have doing this, they are as it's like their two colleagues, two developers, and Matthias has a task, and he is trying to do it the way he knows how to do it. And Katarina is occasionally suggesting better new ways to do it. So I thought it was just absolutely wonderful
That's
format.
beautiful.
It's excellent. So very many
Oh my
positive
gosh.
comments, and I demand every session to be done in this way from now on. So
Yes.
I hope
Oh
that
my
this is a
gosh.
format that is gonna catch up, and it's also short. It's only like 30 minutes, so just absolutely perfection.
I
So
can't like that's that I Yelena, I'm so glad because I had no idea this particular session had a format like this at all.
yeah,
Like I would watch people learn how to like carve wood
yeah,
in
yeah,
this style, right? Where they're like the collaborative with like a goal versus like sometimes the sessions don't have like you don't know
yeah,
where are you going with this, you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
This like I am so like I have so many pleasant memories of like of being able to do something like this with a colleague, especially a colleague who like knew a lot more than I did,
yeah.
right? And was able to be like, oh no, don't no
Yeah,
don't do that, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like that kind of
We
stuff.
don't
Like
do that here.
no,
Like, yeah,
we don't do that here. Like this is so I love this. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
For me, it was the most interesting session this Devtoberfest.
yes,
All
yeah,
the, for example, the table entities. I like them.
yeah,
The new
yeah,
tables for the future.
yeah. Yeah, I think
Beautiful.
at this point, kind of CDS nomination might as well just drop, because like it's like CDS and they're like 15, 15 CDS this, CDS that, but
Yeah.
it's okay. I also thought it was the best session. I know the event is still in progress, but I'm not sure how would you top that. If there is anything better than that, then that would be just mind blowing. So awesome. Yeah, I'm really glad that Bjorn, you liked it as well. All right. So then so the next subject is, this is very interesting article. It's hard
I
to
saw that
write
one.
code for computers, but it's even harder to write code for humans. It's not about SAP. So this is a person, I don't know, someone shared it, I think, on LinkedIn. I'm not sure about the background of the author here, but not from SAP world. This is just general development. But if we go through this, I think a lot of items here we can relate to. It's some of it is kind of related to clean code, clean ABAP, etc. But a lot of it is just talking about good development practices, like getting started is a product. I just love some of his observations. And again, talking about the sessions that we just mentioned, humans learn from examples, not from core concepts. So yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
In the statement here, I was like, yes, 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 yes. Like, okay, so I just totally agree with pretty much everything he's saying, and I think really great and well written article. So the third post will be short story will be about it's kind of, I'm not sure how I will formulate this, but it's kind of like SAP shenanigans of late, and there are a couple of news that I think will be wrapped in it. So first is SAP changed their certification model, and I found about this from this post, but then I looked up. Yes, there is official information as well from SAP. So what has changed is previously, if your certification expired, and most of them do, because products evolve and you need to renew your certification, but you could take like a short assessment test and then just renew essentially. So there was somewhat easy renewal process, and you could just buy attempts and just do certification. But now it looks like if you want to take that shorter route, you have to subscribe to SAP Learning Hub. So essentially, you cannot simply do like before. You just buy attempt, you do your short assessment, and you're done. You have to procure Learning Hub subscription. I honestly do not understand why at this point, because it seems like, I don't want to use the word extortion, but that's definitely trying to get more money from people, which I don't think SAP would go like bankrupt if they would just let people do it like the old way and would just let people purchase certification attempts. And
Yeah.
I think we talked about certification and many problems with it before. And I would agree that there are definitely people who are just cramming for the test, who are just passing the test, but don't really have real knowledge.
Yeah.
But it's probably not the people who we should focus on. There are definitely ways, I think, to do something about that part. But it doesn't mean that people who are making honest effort to renew their certificate should be punished for it and should be forced to subscribe to SAP Learning Hub, which is, I still think, terrible product anyway. And so second item in here, I don't have visual for it, but I think we all have seen posts on LinkedIn about changes in SAP BTP subscriptions. So there was a free tier and pay-as-you-go subscription.
Mhm.
I do think that was discontinued. I will find the exact post about this, but to me, it's like, again, I remember how several years ago there was SAP TechEd that was presented as SAP DevCon, and it was like all,
Yeah.
all developers are welcome.
Yeah.
But now it's like, are they? Are they though? So it
Now
doesn't
it's
look like
now it's got the treehouse sign of like no girls allowed. Only it's no
exactly.
developers allowed. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now it seems like, yeah, developers with money are welcome, or if you work at large
Yeah.
partner, or if so there is a lot of kind of, now it's
Lame.
it's like it's like Animal Farm, some people are equal, but more equal than
Some are
others.
more equal than others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it starts as simple statement, but then
Yeah.
just grows in. Yeah, so it's really, I think it's a worrisome trend to me. I'm not sure if SAP is going to read it or be worried about people writing about this, but I do think that people need to be aware of these things happening, because it's not a good trend, I think, in general. So I don't know what do you guys think about these issues?
I just like I just don't understand. Like it's like you can have this sandwich, but you have to buy a drink to get the
Yeah,
sandwich.
yeah,
Like I'm already like you're already making money on the certification exams and stuff. I mean,
exactly.
and all of this to say, like, doesn't it help your product in general to just have people learn about it and be certified in it? Like, I hate that feel of like I have to pay you, the vendor,
Yeah,
to be then go out and be like certified to just help you do the thing you do with your customers,
yeah.
right? That just feels silly to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think not everything needs to be a revenue stream.
No.
I think as a large company you need to allow for some things just to exist. And I would be curious to see like the numbers, how much really all of this is costing SAP, because honestly, as a minority shareholder, I wouldn't miss some of my share value if SAP just allowed some things for developers, for beginners, for maybe smaller partners. I'm all up for it, and yeah. So
Yeah.
I think some of this stuff is just kind of vile to me. I don't know, Bjorn. Do you have any opinion on this?
I think I've read the first time about from Marian
Mm-hmm.
Zeiss. He
Yep.
wrote
Mhm.
about it. It's hard for self-employed people
Yeah.
because Marian,
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
is doing an open source project, the spreadsheet importer, and he has an ABAP environment that he uses, but he's self-employed. So
Yeah.
his contract was canceled. So he has
Yeah.
not the possibility to test his project, to develop his project. It's a little bit hard
Yeah.
for self-employed
Yeah.
people at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So many independent contractors, especially I think in Europe, in US maybe less so, but that's just because of the US, I think, terrible system with our healthcare. I bet if only we had healthcare like in Europe, many people would just go on their own and be just,
Yeah.
individual
For
consultants.
sure they would.
I would bet on this, but
Yeah.
but instead we have to band together so that we can afford to see a doctor, which is yeah, so not really great. I think look for SAP in general. And it's funny how BTP free tier, it was announced at TechEd as a big deal a few years ago by CEO, that client guy, and now they're just quietly kind of rolling this off and limiting it again. So I don't know, things just don't add up to me. But that's all my stuff. So over to you, Paul.
Here we go. Sure. A topic that we have come back to over and over again, but
Uh,
it just gets my goat is that the continuing it's like the spotlight on like the show is like shining all around the stage of like what the hell's going on here with remote work these days.
yeah.
Right? And like the thing that really gets me is like I personally am a person that I don't mind going to the office to be with folks. I really don't.
Mm,
If it's close enough to be there, I like hanging out with people. That's totally fine. But I also understand that like I don't think, and I don't think anybody has done a conclusive study to show that that has F all to do with
yeah.
like whether I'm getting my job done, right?
Yeah.
Like the productivity numbers and all that kind of stuff clearly show that during pandemic and all this kind of stuff, people still got their shit done.
Mm,
Like, why do you care if they climb into especially in the US, they climb into their stupid cars and drive down the stupid highway to your stupid office? Like, just like, why do you care? You're getting the work you needed to be done. And those of us like non-executive people who demand this, like our lives are better. Like if I any day, anytime I can just be like, nah, I'm not coming. And then like I can take my dog for a walk over lunch. and I can pick up my daughter from school. And it's just not even a thing. And my life is way better because of that. And if somebody tried to tell me, sorry, we're gonna make you come like bend the knee and beg and plead for like one day, one like work from home day every now and again, why? Why?
Yeah.
Somebody tell me why this is happening this way. I can't.
Mm.
I just
Yeah.
gets my goat.
I remember when Paul just sent me me a link to the story
Yeah.
in a message. I replied that this is how revolution started in
Yeah.
1917 in
Yeah.
Russia. But I think honestly, we're at the stage where people we need to revolt. We need to just actively just put your foot down and just say no. When this is happening in your organization,
Man.
and you have my support, you have Paul's support, you have
Yeah.
support of your colleagues. Just don't comply with this. Just resist, because this is ridiculous. And
Rise
I
up.
have again, just like Paul, I it's not like I mind working with people, but there is just no reason to do this on daily basis. And also, I think no one should be pleading for this as some kind of favor to them to work from home. It should be,
And
do you want to come to the office? Then come to the office. Do you not want to come to the office? Then don't come to the office. As long as they both do their job, that is kind of, I don't
look at
know.
look at this picture of this woman, this like stock photo,
Yeah,
right? This like if everybody comes to office, this is still gonna happen. People are just
exactly.
gonna sit in their stupid
Exactly.
cubicle
Yeah,
and stare at a video screen
yeah,
of the like people who work at branch offices or whatever,
yeah,
because everyone's used to Teams and Zoom and whatever else, right?
yeah,
So like every cubicle or office is just gonna be filled with people staring at a screen on a camera, looking at
yeah,
other people anyway.
yeah,
Who cares if you're in the office or not?
yeah,
This is, I hate this so
yeah.
much.
It's just
Anyway,
absolutely ridiculous. All right.
Right.
apparently
Whew.
Google is saying something else. Who knows? But that it'll be in the story, guys. Whatever. I just
Yeah.
that's the one I'm going to be most about. So, uh, Oliver Grafe pointed this out on Twitter, and I saw that there's some UI5 roadmap stuff out there that's new and shiny for Q4, Q1, Q2 of this year and next year. So I'm going to take a look at this and kind of and look into these in a little more detail. I have a bit of a personal connection to UI5 just because I wrote a couple of books about that stuff over the years, and even if I don't do it too much these days anymore, it's like my baseball glove is worn in, It's like I've used that one. I like these sneakers have been walked in, I feel comfortable in that. So I still like to go kind of poke around and look at stuff. So I'm gonna look at the roadmap here and see if there's anything interesting out there and share it with you or with
Nice.
with the readers. There'll be a small one. I don't know if there's anything world shattering in here, but there's continuing to get more and more of OData 4 stuff out there and just things like that.
Mm.
All good stuff. Um But I so along the lines, Yelena, of your story about the just general purpose dev story that you had,
Mm-hmm.
this one really spoke to me.
Mm.
And this one, the title is, which is really interesting, is Magic Isn't Real. But what it is this guy's talking about like all of these projects or systems that he worked in over the years as he's sort of growing up and becoming more and more skilled at developing this and that or whatever. And like you always have this point of like I'm using the stuff and I know this corner really well, but then there's this abstraction that I use that I don't know the innards of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every time you have to go look at the innards of that, all of a sudden it's not magic anymore.
Yeah.
And you understand that thing. And then it's part of your mental toolkit. And now like the fog on the map is lifted just that much more,
Mm.
right? And so what it really boils down to is like essentially so I have two high level responses to this. One is that it boils down to it's really worth your time, I think, worth anybody's time to like every now and again like open the black box and look what's inside it
Mm.
of whichever system you're working with, right? But the second thing is, and even though I'm like the biggest AI dork in the world. I'm the hugest AI dork. People who read the newsletter know that. Every issue has a story about that stuff. This is one of the dangers of like blind blind like acceptance of AI just coming and smushing over the top of like software development processes is that like instead of lifting the fog on the map, it increases the fog on the map.
Yeah.
Like now you have less of that stuff. And so like if and don't get me wrong, I'm a proponent of using AI to help you write code. I am. But what I'm saying is it has to be active on your part. You can't let the fog cover the map of your brain of what you're doing because all of a sudden you're going to hit a place where maybe the AI couldn't help you there, or maybe there's a weird thing that's not accessible because of a company policy or whatever to do that stuff. And if your map is covered in fog, you won't be able to go do the thing you need to do.
Yeah.
And so like you need to carve out the time to dispel the magic. You need to carve out the time to increase your knowledge of stuff. Even if the magic AI in the sky is writing the code for you, like you're doing
Yeah.
everybody a disservice if you just like blindly shove it into whatever system
Yeah.
you're going into.
Yeah.
So yeah, I, I talk about this every time, and I hate to beat a dead horse, and I'm so sorry about that. But like, it's so apparent to everything we do these days that there's things going on there
Yeah.
that are going to shake up everything right in front of our eyes really fast. I don't know. Björn, do you have any? Because I bend Yelena's ear like every week on this stuff, and she's probably super sick of me talking about this stuff. But what about does any of this strike you as like, yeah, that's good, or like, what is he talking about? This guy's full of crap or whatever, right? Like, what do you think?
I think AI can help you. Maybe it can help you, but it's also a point where it can distract the software. I think I've tested IDX, Project IDX with Gemini before.
Mhm.
I've tested this with development and in Flutter development,
Mhm.
and it helps me because the last time I've done Flutter development was 3 years before. So I've asked Gemini, okay, I need, for example, a button, or I need this and that this. I know how to develop Flutter. So when the AI helps me to remember things I've forgotten, but I know I've done them before. So this helps me. AI helps me in this
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
But in other cases, I think to learn development, when you're standing at a junior level, for example. So you have to
Yeah.
first learn it on yourself and then ask the AI when you know it.
The junior level people are the people I worry most about with this stuff, right? Like you're just gonna get, I think so many people are gonna get shut out of the chance to grow, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's I'm honestly terrified of results with ABAP development, and
Yeah.
it's probably not the best use case because it takes information probably from SCN posts from 12 years ago or something like that. But
Yeah.
the simple reports that it generated, I had a very interesting use case just for a test program, and I was curious how it would do because, maybe it does amazing jobs and I don't need to write boilerplate code anymore. But what it did, I looked and like, yeah, that's exactly the problem because what it did, it would work. It would serve exactly the purpose that I asked it to serve, but code wasn't any good. It was really terrible. Very little reusability potential, lots of just old-timey coding, so lots of better approaches to do the same thing. So
Yeah.
I had to guide it like, can you give me the same but using this, and that's how we work sometimes with junior developers. Like in that session, it's like, yeah, you
Yeah.
have a way to do this. Now let's try a better way to do this. But if you don't know the difference was I knew already when I started. It was
Yeah.
kind of, it wasn't totally clean case. If I was a beginner, this would be like, oh my gosh, this is like mind blowing. This is like awesome. It did my job for me. There you go in production. But for experienced developers, this is crap. I mean, so this needs so much work that I don't know if it's worth it even. But
Yeah.
yeah, so on this on this bright note,
On this amazing note, everybody
well,
go out and be
this
happy.
amazing,
Flowers
so
and
super
unicorns.
optimistic note about AI. It's taking our jobs.
Yeah.
Bjorn, any closing comments from you? Anything else you would like to add?
Maybe we have tested I think last week or before 2 weeks, the Copilot in Eclipse, the plugin, the Copilot. And the first code prediction Copilot has for us was a form with authorization. And after this, I've closed the Eclipse and started development for my own.
All right. Sweet. All right. So yes, thank you everyone. And thank you especially Bjorn for joining us today. And we will see you next time. Right. Take care. Bye everyone.